Hey everybody, I am sitting outside of my hotel in Luxor. As you can see, I'm situated on the Nile. You can see the big area of water just there, and then there's these amazing lit up rock formations that, as you can see, as I'm sitting down. But yeah, I'm sorry I haven't videoed for it's been a few days now. As you can tell, I'm a little sick. It's been a manic few days, amazing few days, and I have so much to fill you up on. I've got my tour itinerary here so I don't forget anything because my mind's just blank. But at the moment, the rest of my tour have gone off to an Egyptian Irish pub just down the road that I have, I really wanted to go. They're all going to go get their names done in hieroglyphics, and they've been exploring the city, but I have just felt so under the weather. I've been taking antibiotics, vitamin C, probiotics, supplements, ever since this morning. It just hit me like a brick, and I have been completely under the weather. I think I got throat lozenges. Went and bought those at the Egyptian pharmacy today because I didn't pack anything for flu. I packed myself for everything else, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna get the flu. So I did. But wow, it's been an incredible few days. So basically, when I last checked in with you, I just was doing my Reiki course. I'm going to do a separate video for that when I go to Dahab, when I have some more free space to talk about it, because it was an incredible experience and I'd love to share that, but not right now because I'm exhausted and my mind's elsewhere within the tour. So basically, it was really crazy, really, when I got back from the Reiki course. It was about 9 o'clock at night. I was exhausted mentally, and I had to go meet my tour group because it just started when it finished. And so I went to go meet my guide. He was really lovely. He's got a great sense of humor, really chill. I didn't meet my group because there seemed to be a lot of miscommunication within my group with what was happening. All the major tour groups were just coming in, so he had about 4 or 5 tour groups of different companies meeting at this hotel. So they didn't even have my name on the list of the tour, and I was like, yeah, my name's Chloe. They're like, who? And I was like, oh god, I'm too tired for this. So one second. So anyway, by the time I had that all sorted, it was about 10 o'clock at night. They'd already mixed up the times with the group meeting, so I'd missed meeting my group, which is okay. I didn't really want to socialise anyway. And I met with my guide, and I picked my extra excursions for the trip as well because some weren't included in the tour. But yeah, it was really cool because there was only about 9 of us in our group, and the other tours had about 30 to 35 people. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I could deal with that many people on a hot bus. But we have such an intimate group, and it's lovely because we have such a diverse age range, which is really cool. So yeah, so I went and obviously went to sleep. It was an early start, and what did we do? Let me just have a look 1 second so I can refresh my memory. Oh yeah, so we started with the pyramids, and because I'd already done that previously on my own as well, so I was already quite knowledgeable of that. I still enjoyed it. It was awesome. Although the haggling, oh my goodness, and the hassling from everybody else was terrible that day. The day that I went very early in the morning when I went, so it was very calm. But within the group, there were like 10 people following us, and you don't even speak to them and they just follow you the whole way. It's actually quite stressful. It was just so funny. I couldn't help but crack up. For some reason, I have the advantage of they think I'm an Egyptian, so they leave me alone, which is great. So that's brilliant. I love that. Not all the time, but most of the time. So we did the pyramids, hung out with the group, got to know them, got to know the tour guide, And then, oh yeah, okay, so then I went on a 15-hour bus ride. So I decided to do the cheap option and not upgrade to the flight to Aswan. And so I decided to catch the 15-hour bus ride down there. I regretted it at the start, but to be honest, all I did was take some sleeping pills and I crashed out from 9 till 6. And it was perfect. I slept straight through. I did not wake up once. And I woke up as soon as the sun started rising. So it was brilliant. I loved it. And then yeah, it was just a couple of hours awake while we were driving there, and it was amazing. It was totally amazing. And then so what did we do? Then so we went straight into it. We started with our tour of Aswan, and we did the High Dam, which was incredible. So basically, I'll give you a little bit of history behind that. That dam was created to prevent Egypt from flooding. So this was built in 1960, and it took 10 years to complete. So this was when all the nations came together and they built this massive high dam, because otherwise Egypt would not be in a good place. So yeah, so they built this, and fact of the day, it would take 36 hours for Egypt to flood if that dam was destroyed. So there is some high security there. Like, I'm talking like tanks everywhere. There's army guys everywhere. And also another fun fact, every single man in Egypt at some point in his life has to serve 2 to 3 years in the military, which I just found, fascinating, coming from a country where that is not even a must do. So so they would use a lot of young men who weren't finishing school or had just finished school, who had to do some form of training in the military. So that was really cool. And then we went straight to the Philae Temple, which is the temple of Isis, and that was so beautiful. We traveled on this great little boat to the island. It had been relocated because there are so many temples that had to get relocated because of the flooding that happened. You can see all the watermarks on the temples, and it's really awesome, to be honest. There's a lot of graffiti and damage done by the Romans and Christians who came, and they took away all the bits that they didn't agree with. So with Isis being mother, and she had sexual intercourse and she had children, and at that point that wasn't okay for the Christians. So a lot of her her breasts are taken away, or her lower body parts taken away, or her face, or stuff like that. So yeah, so it was seeing those reflections, but it was so beautiful. I got some amazing photos, and the architecture and the sun and the cliffs and the sea. So it was incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm just looking at myself. I look so tired. I'm so happy I stayed home. I'm the only one who's not going out tonight. And to be honest, the last place I want to be is sitting inside a crowded, loud restaurant being haggled by Egyptian men. So I'm gonna go to bed as soon as I do this video. I almost didn't even do the video. I'm so tired, but I need to do the video. So yeah, and then what do we do after that? And then we checked into our hotel, which was it was a really nice hotel, so that was cool. And then it was accompanied by another really early start. So what did we do that day? We went to Abu Simbel, and oh my goodness, that was amazing. It was about 3-hour drive from Aswan, and oh my goodness, it was the most incredible stop. It was just insane. If I could recommend one place I've been to so far, it would be there. I was speechless. It's one of the oldest temples that's in Egypt, and the history and all of the sculptures and the carvings and just the whole energy there was incredible. As soon as I got in there, I just had tears of happiness. It's just yeah, there's not really many words for it. Just the walk there and the scenery and the sun. We got such a beautiful crisp day. It was really weird though, this helicopter keeps circling, and I asked our guy, I was like, is this normal? Like, what's going on? And he had no idea. He's never seen it before. And this helicopter circled the island part that we were on, about 10 times. Just continuously going in circles. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Like, I was freaking out a little bit. But it's okay, it went away eventually. The only thing is, I wish we had more time. We only had about, after we had an explanation of the site and the history and because guides aren't allowed to talk about the history and explain things inside because it echoes inside the temples. So they're not allowed to do that. So after that, and then we only had about half an hour of free time, and these temples are massive. Like, I'm talking the size of a football field, and there's 2 of them, and there's so many rooms to explore. So I found myself rushing a little bit, but that's just the way of a tour goes. When you've got schedules and times. There's also when you're going through security checks, you'll find that you go through security checks every town you go through, and because the tour needs to book with these security guards before we go through, if we don't make that security stop on the time we said we're going to be there, they deny us in. So we're in a massive deadline, so we cannot be 5 or 10 minutes late. So, but other than that, it was beautiful, and it was really cool. It was about an extra 300 Egyptian pounds to get a photo pass, because it's, one of the most amazing temples, and I reckon they should be charging more if you want to get photo evidence of this place. Damn right you should be paying for that. But I didn't want to pay for that, because I'd rather just have it in here, and I could spend that on food. But what's really lovely is one of the security guards who's going around, and anybody who has a phone or camera out, he goes, can I see your photo pass? And I didn't have my phone out, but he's like, oh, you're going to take some photos? And I was like, well, actually, no, I don't have a photo pass, sadly. And he's like, oh, okay, and kind of walked away. And then he looked at me, and he's like, come here. And he's like, okay, so you go in there, and you take some photos, and I'll make sure none of the other guards come in, and, I'll let them know that you have a pass. And I was like, you're amazing. And we got talking, and he's like, oh, you look so Egyptian, and, and I was just curious where I was from and my name, and he was actually genuinely really lovely, and he took me through the whole temple, guarding me through taking photos. He's like, I want you to get photos because you're just an awesome person. I was like, oh, that was a highlight. That was really cool. So I got some awesome photos. And then I rushed to the other temple. I didn't spend much time in there. It wasn't as big, luckily. But yeah, sorry, excuse me. And so that was an incredible experience, and rushed back. It was so funny. I had my second ever haggling experience, and I was going through, because you have to walk through all the vendors as you walk out, and I kid you not, it's like a swarm of bees to honey. When they see you, you have like 20 or 30 men going, ma'am, where are you from? Oh, hi, good to see you again, my friend. And it's like constant, like, come see my shop, blah blah blah, like every pickup line you can think of from like 20 or 30 people at once, and you just have to put your sunglasses on and just walk, because if you could say, oh yeah, I'm interested, or oh, I'll come back, they will hold that against you and follow you onto the bus. Like, I kid you not, they will follow you onto the bus, so don't do that. Anyway, I saw this bag that I wanted, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I was like, how much? And he said 950 Egyptian pounds. And I was like, no, it's not worth that. And I just, the trick here is you just walk away. If you negotiate down to about a third of what they offer you. So I negotiated, and he said no. And I was like, okay, shukran, goodbye. And I walked away, and he follows me all the way down. Eventually, like, about going 3 or 4 prices down. And I go, no. And then he goes to the price that I asked for at the start. Eventually, kind of a little bit pissed off, I think he was. But, they have the white price, they call it. So if you're a tourist, they will double or triple the price that they will charge for anybody else. So you really got to haggle yourself way down. So that was cool. I was quite proud of myself. I negotiated about 800 Egyptian pounds down. I was like, yes, I got this. But yeah, and then we hopped back on the bus, and we stopped at this place called the Mouage, I think it's called. Don't quote me on it. I'll have to double check that. And basically, it is one of the most incredible natural optical illusions in the world. And it's a certain place in the desert that the sun shines at a certain time of the day, and I kid you not, you think there's a lake there. It's like a rippling, crystal clear lake, and all it is light from the sun. I have some photos of it, and it is mind-blowing. What a place. So all the tourists jump off there, and they've got security guards helping you cross, and it was quite funny. All the police wanted photos with me and the girls, and it was good fun. And so we got back on the bus, and yeah, so that was a full-on day. I just dropped my thing. Hold up. So then, just as the day doesn't get any more crazy, you think that's a full-on day. Straight after that, we rush to our hotel, go pick up our bags, and we're going sailing on the Nile on a felucca. So this is a double-decker traditional Egyptian boat that sails down the Nile, and we're gonna stay on it overnight. And so we go do that, and it's very cool. There's this amazing bed area downstairs, and the salesmen of the boat, they cook for us, and they help us, and you know, they entertain us with their Egyptian music, and we're sitting up on the top deck. There's 2 decks, watching the sunset go down on top of the Nile after we just swam at the Nile, jumping off the top deck of the boat. It was just amazing. I was terrified to jump in the Nile. I almost didn't do it because I was convinced they say there are no crocodiles and no snakes in there because the dam is being separated from the high dam. So when they separated it, all of the, you know, the crocodiles and the snakes were on the other side, and they're all here, and they're like, no, we've never seen one since. And I'm like, you know what, there's somewhere, there is something. And this whole side of the Nile, there must be. So I was like, you know what, I cannot come all the way to Egypt, go on a felucca, sail on the Nile, and not jump in. So I jumped in the Nile, floated around for a bit. It was great. We had this amazing dinner. It was freezing. We had about 2 blankets each, and oh my gosh, the cold here. As soon as the sun drops and you're in the middle of the desert, whew, it is. I'm a wimp to coldness too, so that was hard. And that's when I started getting sick. I think it was a mixture of swimming, maybe not so clean water as well. I probably ate something funny, and I've just been, as you can hear from my few days, it's been go, 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 lack of sleep, lack of food. You know, the Egyptian eating time here is, you eat super early. You eat and I can't eat early in the morning, so I eat at like 6 in the morning, and I need to give myself at least 2 to 3 hours before I eat. And then they don't eat lunch till about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're missioning away all day on low energy, and then you don't have dinner till about 8 or 9 o'clock. They're all eating dinner right now, and I'm like, I can't eat that late because I need time for my food to digest. I know I sound like a hard person to deal with, but I found it really hard adjusting to the food times here. So yes, we have this amazing experience on the felucca. It's cold, it's beautiful, the sunrise is amazing, we have music playing, they've got all the, you know, the Nubians playing their drums, and we've got a bonfire that they've set on the sandbank, so we're sitting around the fire. Yeah, we all woke up feeling this morning pretty crappy. So this is this morning of last night. So everybody, about 4 to 5 of us on the tour, have got the flu. I was feeling really sick this morning, really bad nausea. So yep, we got up early in the morning, about 5, and straight on the bus, and we went for a 3-hour drive to Luxor. So here I am in Luxor. I haven't explored it because well, that's not true. We went to one temple, which was Khufu, and that was the temple of Horus, and that was incredible. It was massive. It was a really beautiful temple. But sadly, I felt so sick. I really didn't enjoy it. I mean, I made the most of it of being there, but to be honest, with my head and my migraine and my throat and my stomach, I kind of just wanted to get back on the bus and go straight to the hotel. Because the only downside of the Felucca was that as soon as we woke up in the morning, we didn't have time to go check into our hotel, so we couldn't have a shower, we couldn't get changed. We just went straight on a 3-hour bus ride to a temple. So I was feeling pretty shitty, to be honest, just to put it blank. But you know, we roll with it. It's what we gotta do. We gotta go with it. So yeah, so that was an incredible time. I found it really hard. Luxor is it's one of the most busiest places other than Cairo. And you've also got a big horse and cart industry here. So there's very minimal tour buses that will take you to the Horus Temple. And the reason for that is because all the men who run the horse carriages, they get business from that. And they throw stones and damage the tour buses so they don't go. So there's only very small amounts of tour buses that will drive up there. I found that really hard because there's hundreds of horses in the street, and even my tour guide said he is disgusted by the way their horses are treated here, and he finds that really difficult. And I was like, yeah, I had to cry on the bus ride here. You know, I couldn't even look out the window because it's just so hard. They're so skinny and they're so mistreated, and they're just left to stand in the sun for hours while they're waiting for, you know, the tourists to go look around and come back and run in the hot sun again. You know, it just makes me so upset. So, but yeah, that was really difficult. But other than that, no, it's probably been a down day today from getting sick and feeling crappy. And so yeah, so I got back to the hotel, and I'm sharing with a roommate. She's a bit older than me, so we get along, but we don't like click. But yeah, they're all off to the Egyptian Irish pub, which I don't quite understand, and I really wanted to see it 'cause it sounded interesting. But that's okay. But yeah, other than that, it's been a hectic few days, and as you can see from the bags under my eyes, I'm exhausted and my body is telling me to look after it. So I'm gonna listen to that, and I'm gonna go and hop into bed. But it's been amazing. As I said previously, I feel like I've been here for like a month already, and it's not even been a week and a half. I'm really looking forward to my tour in Dahab. So that's literally going to be about 4 to 5 days in a resort of snorkeling and sunbathing. There are no plans, there's nothing to see but relax by the Red Sea. So that just sounds amazing. I'm really looking forward to that. But no, I've had some amazing experiences. I've met some great tour guides. I've done some incredible shopping. I've heard amazing stories. My favorite, I didn't share my Nubian village encounter. Wait, okay, I need to share this before I go to bed. I'm sorry if I'm boring you. I've already got to 23 minutes. You've probably even turned this off by now, but that's okay. Okay, so basically we caught this boat for about half an hour across the Nile to this Nubian village, and oh my goodness, this was breathtaking. As that and Abu Simbel have been my favorite experiences since I've been here. I mean, we get off this boat and it's night, and we're walking through all these authentic night markets and the spice stores and everything, and it's stunning. And anyway, we're walking into this Nubian house, and our guide is friends with them, and he used to live with them for a little bit, and so they're gonna cook us dinner. So they bring us into their house, we meet their family, they cook us this amazing authentic meal. We meet their pet crocodiles. Yeah, I held a baby crocodile. it was crazy. Yeah, we got greeted by this baby crocodile. It had its mouth tied shut. And there were also 2 bigger crocodiles in the cages, which was really hard for me. As I keep saying, the animal treatment here is not that great. But long story short, the Nubians, before the Nile got separated, they lived on the other side where all the crocodiles were. And even though it was a threat to them, it was a part of their life, their home. They enjoyed the spirits of the crocodile, and it was part of their daily thing. And so to have that taken away from them, they brought the crocodiles into their home. And so what they do is they catch baby crocodiles and they let them grow until they get to about 2 to 3 years old. And then when they get too big, they put them back in the Nile. And then the baby crocodile that I was holding will then be left to grow when they put the bigger ones back. And the process repeats. But yeah, no, these crocodiles were in tiny cages the size of their body. There was no water, and they sit there all day. They literally sit there. Nothing. So, yeah, I really hope that they do get back out. They're back out for the rest of their life, because that's torture. That really is. That's not ethical in any form of way. But, that's their life. That's what they do. But other than that, man, they were so friendly, and I got this amazing henna done by this talent, and she literally did this in about 1 minute, and this was all by freehand. She was incredibly talented. We did that, and we finished our meal with mint tea, and we walked back through the markets, and it was incredible. I mean, it was the most authentic and real experience. They're just the most beautiful group of people. They call them the nomads of Egypt, and their homes are just beautifully handly painted, and they're making all these baskets and bags and their own house for the roofing, and yeah, breathtaking. But yeah, I would recommend going to there too if you're watching this for recommendations, because that was amazing. But yeah, other than that, it's been an incredible experience. I was sharing a piece of history, one last thing before I go to bed. There's a story I've been wanting to share. Basically, when I first got here, there was a guide that I was in touch with, and he wanted to meet me, and so he invited me to join their tour to the museum. And I'm pretty sure I previously mentioned this. The American guide people that he was with invited me to Alexandria, and so we went to Alexandria, and he told me the story of when there was the 2011 revolution. Sorry, I'm tired, lost words. 2011 revolution, and when they had some form of military, or there was a new ruling that was coming into Egypt that the public were not happy with, and so they were going to protest, and so they all go to the town square by the museum, and there are thousands and thousands of people protesting, and graffitiing and breaking into things, and I mean, it's manic. There are hundreds of people who died. My guide being an Egyptologist, of course, to be a guide you need to be an Egyptologist, and because it was at the museum, all of these looters were going to the historical museum to go and break and graffiti things inside, and that's their pride and joy, being an Egyptologist and studying that and living the life of that. And about I don't know how many, but a large group of them all came together, and they created a wall around the museum. And I'm talking like 3 or 4 lines of people in a wall around the whole of the museum, and protecting, what this was, because they said that there was not enough cops to help them with that. They were all focusing on the public of the protest. I mean, sorry. There were people who, there was authority calling for the prisons to be opened. Crazy stories. They got the call to go, please let all the prisoners out of the prisons for them to escape. The man there said, no, I'm not going to do that, and he got shot. and you know that he said he didn't, of course, who would want that? The worst people who have committed all these terrible crimes to be let out at this time of protest and change. But yeah, he was sharing that he met this guy on the bus when he was going there, and you know, they had a brief chats, and they, you know, they weren't good friends, they didn't know each other. They were on the way to the museum, and as soon as they walked off the bus, this guy got shot in the head, and his brains splattered all over this guy that I'm with. Man, that hit me like a ton of bricks. To hear that story face to face of someone who'd witnessed that and who was protecting their pride and joy, just was mind-blowing. And I just wanted to share that story because to me that is just so significant and so, you know, so courageous. And just to the guy who lost his life, to everyone who lost their lives through that time, you know, through this catastrophic time through Egypt. And but yeah, it was a story I wanted to share, and you know, to honor that, and for him to have the guts to share that to me, because that's some tough stuff. That's, you know, that's something you don't come back from easy. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it on that note, not a happy note, but a powerful note. And I will check in soon. We're going to the Valley of the Kings tomorrow, so that's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night.